Hey Frank, we're good to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, it's now 6:01, October 11th. We're at the Town of Alton Town of Alton Planning Board Capital Improvements Program, which is in the committee meeting agenda at the town hall on the second floor. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, approved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. So today, we're working on the final the CIP committee's final recommendations to the planning board and then the Board of Selectmen concerning the CIP priorities, committee priorities, and for years 2023 through to 2028. And we're going to go through each line item, as I understand it, to see what we can do to mitigate the potential impact of the estimated 2023 through to 2028 tax impact to the citizens of Alton. What I would ask, can everybody go to the last page? Can we put the last page up, Jessica, and just kind of see where we're at in terms of estimates at this point, so that the committee can view that in terms of the tax dollar impact?
Yep. Mr. Chair,
Yes.
throughout this document, there are some items that are highlighted that do need to get addressed as we go along.
Okay. And can you share with me what those are those are going to be in yellow? Will those be in yellow?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the estimated, if I'm reading this correctly, Jessica, and please feel free to stop me at any moment. The estimated 2023 is $1.10 in terms of the impact to the town, the citizens of Alton. In 2024, it's $1.08. In 2025, it's $1.11. In 2026, it's $1.07 approximately. And in 27 and 28, it's $1.82, $1.08. And in 2028, it's $1.18, $1 and I think it's 1 cent or 2 cents. Okay. So did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So certainly as we go through this, our goal is to see what we can do to Either, depending on how the board feels about where we're at with each particular department, what we can do to either lower this amount or raise it for good reasons based on the information that we've received from the department heads. Does everybody agree with that? Do I have a consensus from everyone that that we'll start right from the top and work our way down? Right? Is everybody okay with it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so Jessica, let's go back to page 1 of 11.
Can you use could you use your microphone, please? Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask one question before we moved on. We don't have this last page from last year, do we? See, these are all the numbers up until 2028. I'm just curious as to what they compared to, because last year we had numbers up to, you know what I'm saying?
It's always been a
Yeah.
6-year plan. So then
I
it
know,
just
but
moves out a year.
So in 2026 was the number last year, $1.60. Well, I don't know if they rounded up or not, but 6 point.
I'd have to look at last year's plan.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, do these numbers change every year? Do these numbers change due to what we've put in this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's the point of putting 2028 if that number is irrelevant?
It's not irrelevant.
Well, it's going to be changed, right?
It changes every year. All of these years change every year,
Right. That's what.
depending on inflation, depending upon whether or not that particular item gets purchased or not. Emergencies might pop up, it's a variety of things as to why they would change in the same year.
So in a perfect world, I guess these numbers would be, but these numbers, anything after next year, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
guideline kind of.
roundabout, budgeting tool, just to help assist, the town, so.
So are we trying to get it down below $1 or stick as close to $1? I mean, that's always
Yep.
seems to be.
Yeah, I think historically we've tried to do it like $1 or slightly less.
Dollar or less.
What? If I remember correctly, last year, we were just a hair below $1 for 2022, 23, 24, 25, and I think it may have gone up over $1 in 26, 27, and 28. But what we have historically tried to do was to manage the fluctuations so that the townspeople see that the town administration, the department heads, the CIP board, planning board, board of selectmen are being prudent with their money. And again, this is just a recommendation. The board of selectmen can basically change all of this, and they have over the years by buying certain things at certain times or doing certain things at certain times that they thought was prudent. But at least we've given them a guideline and and something to work from. Okay, that says, all right, the CIP committee recommended this. Okay, and but it's going to change every year. I mean, it's certainly a moving target, if you will. Okay, based on what in 2023, what will actually happen will all of the things that we suggested take place, or will there be some changes and surprises by the select board, in terms of what they decided they were going to do? This is just a guideline, and it gives at least hopefully the citizens of the town, a comfort level that this was what was recommended, and the selectmen took heed to it. I think we've done a prudent job of trying our best to keep the cost down to that $1. And my goal would be tonight to see if we can get that 1.1 and it's just about 1.1 everywhere down, below, unless someone disagrees, down below, the dollar mark. I think it's a real prudent thing, because if I'm not mistaken, am I saying this right, Jessica, that, with the new assessments that came into the town because of a reassessment over this last year, there's actually more money available for them to utilize, the town fathers. Am I saying that correctly?
I'm not so sure. I know that the reassessment brought the taxes down.
Not for everybody.
Now, the reassessment for the taxes, I think, was proportionally up, wasn't it?
I would say yes.
Yeah. But if that's not the case, then we don't need to adhere to that. But again, I think the goal should be, unless someone disagrees, on the board, that we try our best to keep it below $1, $1,000, for everything that's going on. Okay, having said that, unless I hear of someone disagreeing, shall we go to the top page and on the town departments, on capital costs, to the page 1? Can we go there?
Yep.
I want to actually go to page 3, because the first 2 pages are the summary.
Summary. Okay, page 3.
Mr. Chair, I also wanted to point out that there's a potential that some of these numbers can change at deliberative session as well, and not just with the selectmen.
Yeah, right.
And actually, one more thing, just for the record, I'd like to just note that you're zooming in and you're not here physically. That's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Actually, got to ask if there's anybody else in the room.
Okay. All right. So let's go to page 3, and we'll start with the ambulance revolving fund. I think okay. The ambulance revolving fund.
The only thing I changed with that, since we last met, was to just add that information regarding the radios and where the funds were going to come from, and just updated the capital cost on that.
Okay, very good.
Thing that changed, yeah.
All right. Okay. And
And I did get a reserve amount from the chief. And he shared that he would be satisfied if there was somewhere between 100,000 and 150,000
Okay, for the,
at a minimum.
okay, that's great. Okay. So that was one of the questions that I had. Okay. So he said he would be comfortable with that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, does anyone have any concerns about the ambulance revolving fund?
No.
Okay. Look, moving right along into the fire department vehicles. Okay. I think what we said was that the lifespan of the did we say that the lifespan of FD 12, or I'm sorry, FD 11? No, it was FD 12, would be 2042. And for some reason I put down, and I don't know where I got this, but you've got Jessica 350 grand. For some reason I had 175,000. Was there?
So
Yeah,
the 175 will be coming from the ambulance revolving fund, and the other 175 comes from the fire department equipment, CRF.
okay, so why do we have 350 and 350?
Because the total is, it's because that column asks for the gross capital cost of the project.
Okay, so can we put in there that under, some sort of a red line? Oh yeah, you've got it here, withdrawal of 175. Okay, and a withdrawal. Okay, you've got it there. Okay, great.
Satisfied with that? Does that look good?
Yeah, that's fine. Unless someone disagrees with that. Does everybody feel comfortable that that's enough information, that there's a withdrawal of 175? That's marked on FD 12 coming out of the ambulance fund. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. So
Ambulance fund that says fireboat.
Right, 'cause it's splitting it. If you look up here under the, it says 175 in red. Right on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
do you see that, Roger?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are
So
you okay?
I just, see, I wasn't here for this part last year, so I just need a little education, so otherwise I'm just meeting a seat.
Okay.
We've spent, the past weeks tweaking these numbers, getting them on here, talking with people, and we got these numbers. So now we're trying to get the total number down, from $1.10 down to $1 or maybe a little less.
Right.
How do you do that with these numbers here? I mean, we put these numbers here because that's what they needed.
Right.
I mean, if you took that 300, say, no 350, don't get it.
Right. So how we go about this is it's the green numbers, it's the deposit amounts. So if you look down a little further,
Yeah,
it says total deposit.
Yeah,
So it's the deposit amounts that could potentially shift. So maybe one year it might not be 450, might be 350, and then the following year might be 550. To get that bottom number, that tax number,
okay.
to even off. And
Right.
we do that throughout each department, kind of doing a shift. So then that way they do have that amount and whatever year they're gonna, that expenditure is due.
Yeah, so then, and I'm just learning too.
Yep.
So the black number, we just at the bottom, we have to be, that has to be higher than the withdrawal number, obviously, correct? The red number?
Yeah, that's the balance
Yeah,
that's
so the
in
green
the
numbers,
account
we can
each
play
year.
with the green number to try to make ends meet throughout.
Correct. And
Okay.
the green number will be the warrant, the
Yep.
the amount on the warrant article.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
You get that?
Yeah.
I'm just picking it up too.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would recommend that, Jessica, what would it look like, okay, to have 375 as being the green number all the way across
Instead of 450?
instead of 450? Yep.
I mean, that'll shortchange 2027, but 375.
Yep.
So how did you automatically figure out that that would shortchange 27?
Just,
Or did your computer
Mathing.
figure that out?
Yeah, because there's only one, there'd be only 148 in there. And it just-
yeah, see, so if I just changed
I see, yeah.
375 in 23, 24 and 25, now you're already a negative in 27.
What are you negative by?
It's 76,000.
And we
Okay.
need 650,000.
So that's not feasible.
Well, it's not feasible. Okay, so put that back.
Okay, so now I understand. So you add the green, the black, and it has to meet the red. Is that what
The red is the withdrawal, so that's the amount of the items that are being,
that they need?
yep.
Right.
The green is what we're depositing.
Right. And the
And if
black
you
is the
withdraw or
balance. So
you
the green
add-
and the black have to add up to the red.
The black is the balance in the account.
Right.
Okay, so if we went to 2026 and went to 400 grand, not the 375, right?
So now it's in 2027, it's still not enough. It's only 23,000.
Why is it not enough?
Because I
Or-
think
or-
his reserve, he wanted 100 to 150,000, if that's what we're trying to stick to.
Well, in 1 year, once he gets through 27, he's got plenty of reserve. So I would ask the board, does anybody feel uncomfortable with kind of keeping this number?
What did you change it to? The
So-
green number?
So if I can just let you know, Frank, where we're at. So 2023, I put 375. 24 and 25, I put back to 450. And then
Yep.
26 has 400. And then 27, 28 are both 450.
Okay,
And then
all right.
But yet
Yeah,
again,
let's-
in 2028, we're at 407,000. And I
Yep.
think we could probably bring down that 450.
Yep. Let's bring that down to 375.
And that brings us to 332, 148 for a balance.
Okay, which gives the fire his reserve. It gives him his reserve that he's looking for, no matter what.
Yeah,
The
yeah, it's
only,
like,
the only one that he doesn't have it would be in 27. He wouldn't have the reserve, okay? So let me just see, there's 650,000 that 650,000 for engine 3. And he wants to replace that in 2027.
Yep.
That was the plain.
Yep. Okay. All right. So. And you see, Roger, I mean, that's why this is a moving target. We get out to 2027, the chief may say that truck's still got another good couple of years, you know? We don't need to do it, you know? So that's why this is such a moving target. All right, so does anybody want to change anything?
I guess the question is everybody comfortable with only 23,000 left in the reserve?
For what year? 26?
27?
So the ones you just changed was just 2023 to 375, right?
Yep,
And then
26 to
down
400,000.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just make it try.
And then 28 to 375.
And 28 to 3.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're
Yep.
bouncing around right now.
But 2027 is the year that we're gonna be.
We kept that at the
Oh, well,
450.
yeah.
Shave a little more off of 27 and 28. Yeah, shave a little bit off of 27, 28 and add that to 27 or 26 rather. We got that 20 something thousand that would be left.
Right, maybe 28 could be just 300,000, take
Right.
that 75 and make 26, 475.
Right.
That
Yep.
was it.
Yep. Take a look at that.
Okay, so that looks a little better. It's 98,000, so that's,
Yeah,
that's on the low spectrum, but it's close,
yeah.
And we could always change it next year anyway.
correct?
Right.
So what did we just do? What was that change? That was a
So in
2000.
2026, we change it to 475,
75. Yep.
and then in 28, it's 300,000.
Okay.
And that looks a little better. That gives a balance of 322, 148 in 28.
Okay, can you go down and just see what that does to the tax impact?
Okay, so that looks a little better.
Okay,
Yeah, it's roughly $1.07, $1.09,
yep,
$1.11, $1.08, $1.08, and 95 cents.
yep, okay. How does everybody feel about that? Are we okay? Are we okay with, for the time being, to just be looking at that as a change?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Does anybody want to discuss it any further? No, hearing none. Let's move to the next. Let's move to the next area. Okay. And we're not doing anything on the building improvements.
Not at this time, no.
Okay. We're not doing,
See all zeros there? Is that the?
Correct. Yep, hopefully next year there will be dollar signs in there for the amounts.
okay. So no, we're not doing anything about that in this CIP report. Okay. So let's, is everybody okay about moving on to the next area?
Yep.
Okay. And I think that's what, the highway department?
Yes.
Yes.
those some big one.
Okay. So Okay.
Mr. Chair, may I touch upon HD1?
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that. So I did sit down with Scott, and we talked about the discussion that he had in front of the committee about creating a CRF for the lease payments, which you can do. But we kind of decided, the more I talked to him, we thought it was best to just leave this current lease the way it is. And when he starts up with a new lease, we can start putting money away for those payments, just to start fresh instead of coming in sort of, midway to an existing lease. Just thought it was easier to just start fresh.
Okay, what's the lease? Where is the lease at this point?
It's at the tail end of things. There's just there's a few years left on that 10-year lease.
Okay, so we would see this in probably 2025.
Most likely, yeah, roughly somewhere around there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Does anybody see anything in the highway department?
Only thing that I was looking at, and I think the last time we met, we did speak about balance and it being well over $2 million. And I don't know, I look at that, if we're gonna be trying to make up a little bit of ground, that would be a smart area to kind of look into, and whether or not having that amount of money available.
And what line item are you talking about, Guy?
First page be the balance of highway department CFRs, and right below it in blue, subtotal of highway department equipment, other highway department CFRs.
Right, so that's all of the existing, so that includes all of the CRF funds for the equipment and all of the individual ones like road construction, sidewalks, bridges, things like that. So I did talk to the finance department. And so for this year, so currently, so if you go look at the highway road construction CRF, as $1,575,210. Scott hasn't spent all of that money yet for this year. So that's gonna go down at some point between now and December. So it might look like, there's a ton of money in there, but I mean, he has that tagged already for a variety of items.
So that
We just can't
1,000,005 needs to come out of the 2 million number? Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is that 1,000,005 is not gonna be 1,000,005 by the end of December. This is gonna get spent.
Right. So that would change the bottom line, which is the blue.
It would.
So now that's like 500,000 left there. If you subtract 1,000,005 out of 2 million, leaves you about 500,000.
Okay, can we go back up to the equipment? Can we do that first before we go too much further?
Let's go to the equipment.
So in 2028, there's 406,639 in the account.
0 to be removed.
Correct.
All right. So where are we now? We're on the highway department.
Yep, highway department. The balance to the highway department equipment is on page 6.
All right, are you showing that right now?
Yeah.
Page 6?
Yes, it's like in the middle of it's in the middle of the screen. Actually, I'll move it up so that way that gets rid of all that stuff. There, that's a little cleaner.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I see right off the bat that we maybe could, but not shave that much off, is maybe the rock crushing.
Yeah, I just
Gonna
talked to
have a-
Scott earlier about that rock crushing.
Yeah, because if you're not gonna do it in 2026, then there's gonna be like 11,000 left in that account. I mean, if we shave a little bit off this year off that.
Yep, can we go back up though and just confirm the highway department equipment CRF before we
Oh,
move?
sorry.
Yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah,
You want to see what it looks like with 100,000 each year?
I mean, I don't know. So that's the question. I mean, do you guys like that? Those amounts, those balances each year? I mean, is that good?
I don't know.
Leave them at 406? Is that,
I think Frank would be able to offer some good insight on that. Me looking at, it, I don't know anything about construction, but I mean, it looks a little, for 24, 25, 26, and 28, there's a decent amount of money in there.
there is?
yeah. So, what, so these don't count the payments that we're paying. Oh, no, we actually just bought everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, so, yeah, we won't have pretty much the graders, the next one that was on the other page.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, we could, I don't see him. Everything's pretty new down there,
I think so. I think they've
Except maybe the-
requested a lot. I think
except maybe
this,
the backhoe, but there's nothing here on that, so
Yeah.
I think that's in 25 or something. 20. So, yeah, I mean, if we knock that 150 down to 100, still gonna have plenty in that account through. We shouldn't be negative at all in those accounts, should we?
no, we should always have that surplus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a, yeah.
So do we want to maybe make it 300,000? You know, kind of across the board, is that as a reserve?
Still think that would probably be a decent amount of money.
I think so, considering they've, acquired
Yeah.
some
a lot of-
extensive equipment,
Yep.
over
No,
the
that-
past, this is our 6th year with the plan, so they've,
Yep. They've got, yep.
managed to schedule a lot.
Yep. No, that, yeah, what's that look like?
Okay. Do you want me to just leave 23 alone?
You
Leave
could
it at the
prob-
150 and
You could,
it- it
I
ends up
think, yeah,
being
I think you could
318.
lower that one. Cause I mean, there'd still be, even if you took even 50 off that,
Even
it'd
if
still
you-
leave two,
you're still-
okay.
over 250.
All right, so now we're at
268.
268, yeah, 268, 639. And then if I do 100,000 and 24, we're at 313. If we keep 175 and 25, we're at 310. 100,
What were you knocking 24 down to?
I did to 100,000.
100.
If we leave 25 at 175, we're at 310. 2026 is 100,000, we're at 281.
It's right there.
Yeah, 27 is 100,000, we're at 131. And 28, if we deposited the 150, we're at 281, 639.
How come 27 always seems to be a bad year on every page?
How low is 27?
How much?
How much was it?
100,000.
What was the balance?
131, 639.
Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad.
Okay. Do you want me to see what the tax rate looks like?
Yeah.
How that
that's-
impacted it?
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see what that impacted it.
Right.
But we just hit the two biggest offenders, so.
Right, yeah.
So now we're at $1.04, $1.05, still at $1.11 in 25, $1.08, $1.08, and still 95 cents in 28.
Okay,
So it's looking better.
all right.
Go. Now we can go to the highway road construction. So we're all good with that one? Happy with the highway equipment?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So the highway road construction, just has that slow increase. So that way that gets it up to that, 1.5 that, Scott was looking for in the long run.
Yep,
And like I said, that existing, that current 1.5 million is not going to be there come the end of the year.
no. I mean, right now he's paving Roberts Cove. That's gonna take a big amount of what he's got left. I don't know how much he's got left in there, but it's gonna take a big amount. Anyways, unless someone disagrees, I think we all agreed that the roads are probably the most important thing that we can mitigate going forward in terms of giving Scott the tools to keep our roads in reasonably good order. We're going up gradually. And it just gives him a tool that he can work with, Does anybody feel differently about that?
Nope.
I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Okay. All right, the rest of the balances. I see $100,000 for the
Retaining wall.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
that's for the Bay parking lot improvements. So originally he had it tagged for 2023. And after I talked to him and sort of explained it kind of wasn't really a CIP item, if you're gonna request the $100,000 and spend the $100,000 in the first year. So the more we talked, he decided 2025 is probably a better year to expend. Then that way there's time to save up at least a few years.
So what are we gonna put in there for a reserve for the amount?
So I threw in some suggested amounts. 33,000, 33,000 and 34.
Okay,
And then that will, get him his 100,000 in 2025.
okay. Did we talk about the rock crushing, that we were gonna move that?
So originally he had it tagged for 2023 and 2027. And again, after discussion, he decided 2026 would be best. So
Okay.
we did fix that.
Okay. All right,
So you were happy with the Bay parking lot improvements?
I mean, we're talking about $100,000 here, you know? I'm satisfied with it unless somebody else has got something to say.
Well, it's $100,000 there, but it says 40 is gonna come from a donation.
Correct.
So does that change anything as far as numbers, or is you
Nope.
gotta go with the whole 100 with anticipation that you will get the 40?
I think he was saying that the $40,000 would be in addition to the $100,000 that he would need
Yeah, to do that, yeah.
Correct.
to do everything,
Oh.
Roger.
Oh, so the 40 is on top of that?
Yeah, so it's 140.
Yes, it's on top of it. Okay, I think that's what he was saying. Okay, and it would make sense. Okay, that's a good sized parking lot, and there's the $40,000 would be coming from the 3 or 4 commercial businesses that are there, and the residents. So I think that's prudent, but it is what it is. Okay.
I mean, probably the rock crushing part. Probably take a little bit from that, but that probably.
I don't know if that little bit of amount
Would even
would
matter.
actually
Right,
impact the tax
Right.
rate
No,
very
probably
much at
wouldn't.
all. If anything.
right, yeah. No,
Okay. All right. Let's
yeah, the rest of this.
unless somebody has an objection, can we move on to the next page?
Okay.
Yep.
So in the grounds and maintenance, vehicle and equipment, CRF. I did put in the amounts that were suggested at our last meeting. And then I had the question of whether $7,245 is good for a reserve. So those are my 2 comments.
Looking at it at first glance, I think 23, 24, 25 look pretty good. Question that $20,000, that might be a little steep. Maybe try to wiggle with that and then move 27 to 28 to boost up that 7,000.
1,025, you said? Is
So.
that what you're talking about?
I was thinking real quick for 26, maybe 10,000. And then just moving the 20,000 from 27 over to 28, but and the reason why I thought of that initially is because we were at 95 cents that year per 1,000, so we're below the $1, and we might be able to that. That makes sense.
Okay, so change in 26, change it to 10,000.
Yeah.
And then 25,000 and 27. And 20 and 28.
I was thinking because there's gonna be there's gonna be a decent amount of money in 27, so just to cross that out all entirely.
Then we'll need 45,000 and 28.
Exactly.
That's okay.
And
Okay.
the reason why I was thinking that is because on the last page, I think the last one was 95 cents per
Oh,
1,000.
yes.
So
I see what you're saying.
not that we want to go north, but if we have a little bit of wiggle room, that might be the year to kind of go. a bit more, you
Yeah,
know?
I like that idea. I
Saying.
like that idea.
Okay.
Let's try that.
So what was that? It was 10 and 26.
10 and 26, 0 and 27, and then just slide that 20, 27 to 28, which would make it 45 cents.
Yep. So we're still gonna have enough. Gonna be 10 shy there. That work?
It's gonna be more than
So-
10 shy. You're gonna empty, there's not gonna be anything in 27.
So if
But
we have
nothing's coming
20, 20, 20, 10, 0, and 45. We're at negative.
Yeah. We'd have something in probably
2,755.
27. Probably have to have 10 in 2027. Then that would bring us back up to the 7,245, wouldn't it?
Yeah, $7,245.
It'll leave us in the same boat.
It's just,
different.
yeah, it's just shifting it around a little bit.
Let's, how about if we put 5,000 in 27? Roger seems to think that 27 was a killer. Okay. And, I think he's right.
But it's still gonna put us less in 28 in the black. Is it gonna put us in the positive?
And
It
we're
will put
only,
us, it will put us in the positive.
then you only have $2,000 left.
Yeah, yeah. So we're less
Yeah.
than,
Yeah, but they've got everything that they need, you know, at that point. We can start building it up in 2029, you know? Okay,
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go to the bottom.
go to the
Yes,
bottom. Yeah.
all right, $1.04, $1.05, $1.11, $1.08, $1.08, and 96 cents. So it's 2025 that we need to try to adjust here and there. Bring that down a little bit. Back up.
All right. Where are we at now?
Do we want to move on to the next section? The other grounds and maintenance?
Yep.
Okay. So that would be the Alton Bay Community Center property.
Doesn't look like we can adjust too much on those, does it?
Right. So in 2025, that $100,000 would accommodate all of the
Yeah,
repairs
Yeah,
that Kelly was looking for,
Yeah.
or Scott rather. And then it starts to build it back up again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
I
makes,
don't think we can, I think, I don't think we can mess with it.
No,
yeah, I don't think so either.
I think we should leave it.
Okay,
Yep,
so let me get rid of these highlights because that was my question. Okay. The next one is that the senior center building on Pearson Road. And again, these were numbers that were discussed at the last meeting that I plugged in, the 15, 20, 20 and 20.
Yeah, and again, there's really nothing to play with until we're gonna be down to $5,000.
Yep.
Say senior center.
Yeah, no, you're on the wrong page. It's back one, the bottom section.
I
The
think it's seven.
It says 15,000. It's in the yellow. Oh, yeah.
We maybe swap out the 20,000 and 25 with the 15 and 23 to try to bring 25 down a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
Just swap that around.
swap it around.
Okay. I know 5,000 is not a huge dent in that tax rate, but if we do that, maybe in a couple other spots, that might bring that down enough.
Okay,
All right, I'm gonna go down and see what that looks like. It didn't really do much. Still at $1.11. So we'd have to do that in some other spots throughout the plan. If possible.
what's our big ticket items?
About doing it in,
I'm sorry, what was the question?
There he is.
Did you have a question, Frank?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so what are our big ticket items in 23 that we could maybe work on, 23 and 24?
Like on a whole or in a specific department?
I'm thinking in the specific department. I mean, the big ticket items are I think it's fire and still fire and highway, right?
Right.
Let's look at highway again.
Maybe up on the equipment, because we left that one at 175.
Yeah, in 2024, there's $55,000 tagged for a new Dodge Ram pickup.
Let's see what happens when we move the 55,000 for the Dodge and we go to 26.
So move it out 2 years.
Move it out to 25 and then move the 175 out to 26.
Still not gonna have the reserve.
No. So what do you want? The 175 out to 26?
Yeah,
And then so 2025, just 100,000? What do you want me to do?
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
Move the 178 to 2026 and move the 129 to 2027. All right, let's see what that does.
Okay, hang on 1 second here.
So that'd be two big ticket items coming out to 2027.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right, so that leaves us $1.04, $1.05, $1.07, $1.11 now in 26. $1.08 and 96 cents. So now we just increased 2026 to $1.11.
What was it all 11 on the last one?
25.
25.
They just bumped it a year.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we can. I don't think we're going to get it below the buck. But
Probably.
we'll be. But I think we'll be close. You know, I mean, I don't know how everybody feels about it. You know, I mean, we've got to try to be prudent with the department heads. You know.
Yeah, and we still have other departments to go through too, so that might change. For the
What?
better.
Okay. All right. What departments do we have left?
Okay, so left off at the grounds and maintenance equipment. That's what we did last.
Yeah,
We were
the
fine with
cemetery.
that.
Then we're gonna go to cemetery, I think.
Okay, let me get rid of those highlights so that I know we looked at it. The senior center, we looked at that. Let me get rid of those highlights.
You can do anything, nothing.
Yeah.
Cemetery next.
Yep, cemetery department, so the cemetery department that, so again, talk to Scott about what funding was gonna be paying for that equipment storage garage. And he thought it was, most of it was probably gonna come from the perpetual care fund. Some of it may come from CRF, but he had me put it under the perpetual care fund.
So that doesn't, does that affect the bottom line?
That does not. It does not at
Okay.
all. It's just there for information.
Okay. All right. Let's just keep going.
Now we're at the Jones Field Rec Area / park property and parking lot property. The balance in 2028 is $9,000. Nothing deposited, nothing withdrawn from that year. That's the prior year, that 71,000 is coming out.
Right.
And
I don't
that's,
see how, yeah, I don't see how we can do anything there.
yeah, not really.
All right. Let's keep going.
Okay, so I have a suggestion. How about we move the 15,000 in 2027 and make that 10? And then 2023, we put the 15 to try to bring that 2027 down a little bit, because that's at $1.11.
Okay. Let's try it.
So that was 26, you said,
In 27,
or 27?
yep, 27, I put the 10,000. Right, let's see what that looks like. Sorry, that was 2026. My bad, let me go back.
Thought it was, but it was, didn't want to question you.
Sorry about that.
No, that's-
No, please do question me.
Well, I wasn't 100% sure.
These numbers can get a bit much after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's try this again. Yeah, it only brought it down like 0.02 of a cent. Still at $1.11.
But it's at the same year.
Yeah, in the 2026. All right, so let's see what else we have that we can potentially tweak if we can. The next two items are the pickup trucks for the assessing and the building department, and those are identical requests and deposit amounts. So those two are good. They're on their way to get to where they need to be. So on the next item, the police building expansion, that's just there for information. That's not doing anything with that right now. And the next section, the solid waste and recycling center. That stuff is there for information, or it's coming out of the recycling fund.
Right.
So that doesn't affect taxation at all.
Okay.
So the next section is the town hall building improvements. And this is for the repairs and upgrades to get some new ADA compliant restrooms. And I know Ryan had asked to sort of have it universal, to have the $40,000 as a deposit for each year.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that's tagged for that year is the upgrades to the bathrooms. It leaves it at 491 in 2023.
I guess if we knock that down to 30 and 26.
That would help.
I don't know if I had to go to 20, but I mean, so
Right. Yep, that would help, I think. And so my question was, is it fine with the committee that there's only $491 at the end of 2023?
I'm fine with it because they'll always find money to do
It's-
whatever they
Yeah.
want.
Right. They'll find,
other
Yeah.
funds.
Yep,
So,
okay, fine, yep, it's up to you guys.
I'm fine with it. As a matter of fact, maybe we reduce all of this down to, it's 40,000 and then let's reduce it to 30,000 right across the board.
Okay, 24 over, yep. Okay, see what that looks like. Okay, $1.05, $1.05, $1.07, $1.10, $1.07, and 95 cents. So we went down a whole cent. All right.
I think being at that $1.04, $1.05 for the next 3 years, based on inflation and everything else, is not, with the cost of everything going up. I don't think that's being unreasonable. Like I said, I would love to be below it, but I don't think we can get there. Unless somebody sees something in the highway department and the fire department that can be moved out. But it's just going to increase those years.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd move stuff out the fire department. Or was that the highway? Wherever we were at. I don't know if I'd want to move much more out.
Yeah, the schools we don't play around with, right?
Not necessarily.
'Cause that's just the last page. I was just looking ahead on the.
Yep.
Left.
Um,
It's cool.
Yeah, we don't look at the schools because they have their own funds, right?
Yeah. But
yep, there are, yeah, actually, if we can just address the IT department as well.
Yep.
Good thing 28 is a pretty good year.
It won't be by the time we get there.
So I was able to talk to Josh and he did provide me with some dollar amounts for expenditures on the telephones, cameras, and upgrades again in 2028 for some new computers.
I wouldn't change anything here.
Yep, so I have a concern with 2028. The balance in the IT, it's at a negative 43,000.
So you're saying.
What's the $85,000 expenditure?
That's for computers. It's better for him to buy in bulk. It's cheaper and then it's a lot easier to maintain and update.
So he has them all the same.
Yeah. So I think if we increased, we'd have to increase 27 and 28.
Playing with what, 95 cents, 28? I mean,
Yeah. Put it in 28.
How much?
an extra 45,000 to get him in the red.
Yeah, and that just doesn't leave him anything
Yeah.
in the long run. So. All right, how much did we want to put in there? $56,000.
Well, shouldn't 25 and 27 be bumped up? So 28 doesn't have to be such a high number.
Can't really afford to bump up 26.
26, that's the 11 cents number.
Yeah.
Well,
So if we-
sometimes you gotta pay the piper, and that's, that seems to be the year.
So if we bumped up 27,
Yeah.
It was 27 at?
so currently, yeah, it's 11,000.
Right, what was it? What was it at our bottom number? 10, $1.06 or something.
2027 was $1.07.
So then we're gonna be in the same boat as 26 if we bump that up too much.
So if I add 45,000 to 2028, let me see what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so then that's 56,000. That leaves 1,373. So now we're at just shy of 97 cents.
Oh, that wasn't bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yep. So we could actually. I'd hate to put too much
Right,
on, a one-time warrant article.
right.
Right, let me look down here.
Yeah, it gives them $2,000 to play with at the rest of that year. Well, if everything's new.
What if we put a little bit more in 2023 and 24? Because we're at $1.05 and $1.05, and then $1.07. $1.11, $1.07. I don't. Over. And I asked him for his reserve amount and he asked for $20,000 as a reserve amount.
I don't think he's gonna get that in 2008. Even if we bump those just a couple thousand each, does that that wouldn't make a huge difference?
No, it really wouldn't.
They give them an extra, it'd give them close to $7,000, a little bit.
Right, and then I think, so if we left it the way it is, then, next year we could address it. Year out, there may be other pieces of equipment that,
Yeah.
may or may not purchase right away or get better deals on stuff.
I'm okay with leaving it with just the
Right.
it's on 20.
I think because he's new, he's new in the CIP, so he doesn't have that longevity of being able to build up that reserve over time. Until he starts buying up, the equipment that he's been looking to get for the town. So maybe we can readdress maybe increase the reserve next year.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think we'll take a look at it next year. Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay.
So that leaves us at $1.05.
Yeah. It does.
I don't think that's bad with all the inflation.
Right. Yeah, $1.05, $1.05, $1.07, $1.10, $1.07, and 97 cents.
When you start to think about inflation going forward, at least 2 or 3%. I mean, this year was definitely an anomaly, but it's still inflation. It's 8 point. Right? The inflation rate is at 8.5% from everything that I can see, and from year over year. For us to, we're basically, when you think about it, we're going up 5% over the next, 3 years, and then 7%. So, I think we're being as prudent as we can be and still provide the services. There's no question that, the town is in pretty good shape in terms of equipment in most areas, not in all areas. Okay. But, we definitely have stepped up to the plate in terms of the giving Scott the tools he needs to maintain these roads and make them even better. So I think, guys, we have beat it up as best we can, unless somebody feels that we can do something more on this.
I think it looks good, Frank.
Roger, what do you think?
Yeah.
What does everybody else think? Guy?
Good.
I don't think we can change that 11-cent number there, so.
No, I think hopefully, what you said, Roger, down the road, depending on what the selectmen do, we we have an opportunity to work on that, down the road, That's what I think, but who knows, All right, Jessica, unless I hear something differently from anybody, we're gonna go with that.
So what I'm going to need from the committee is a motion to recommend the 2023, 2028 CIP plan to the planning board.
Can I get a motion from
I'll
someone?
make that motion.
Okay.
Someone second it?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. All in favor of the 23, 28 plan as written and done by the committee?
I,
Aye. Okay, cool.
Okay. So there's a joint meeting on October 18th
Yep.
with the committee and the planning board to present the plan. You're going to pass it off to the planning board, and then at that point, they'll review it, ask questions, change it if they want to. If there are no changes, then they would schedule a public hearing. So,
So I plan on being at the planning board to present it, and then to the select board. Anyone that from the committee that would like to join me, please let us know. Okay, would love to have support by the entire committee, and have their input. Okay,
Well, whereas I sit on both the CIP and the planning board, I'm obviously going to be there. And I don't see how the planning board could look at it and change anything because they don't have any information. I mean, we've done all this work, all these numbers jive.
Mhm.
How
yeah,
could they change anything? What tool do they have to change anything?
right, they really don't,
Basically,
Roger.
procedure. It's-
right, they rely heavily on this committee
Right.
to do all of that legwork.
We've done all the mundane stuff, and really it's just a review of what we've come up with. And I certainly can explain the reasoning behind the 4 or 5%, that it's gone up, based on inflation, and, we did the best we could, based on the information from the department heads and what their needs are, and balancing it, so that we keep the tax rate as low as we can. I think we've done a good job. Okay. Anybody that doesn't like it, they should get themselves on the committee. Okay, guys, I'm really not feeling all that well now. Would you mind if I exit?
Motion, we adjourn.
Can we just open up public input really quick?
Okay,
Considering there's no public input, we'll close
Yes.
it. Okay, and
Now I motion we adjourn.
Thank you.
a second.
Bye, Frank. Get well.
second.
Hope you feel better.
Don't share it with anyone.
I won't, Raj. Thank you. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Thank you for everybody's input.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.